Director and writer Sofia Coppola received critical acclaim in 1999 for her debut movie, The Virgin Suicides. Well, she went on to win an Academy Award for Best Original Screenplay with her second movie, Lost in Translation. Coppola continued to make her mark on Hollywood with movies like the biopic Marie Antoinette and the crime drama The Bling Ring. Her new thriller, The Beguiled, follows a group of women at an all-girls boarding school during the Civil War. It stars Nicole Kidman, Kirsten Dunst, and Elle Fanning. What a cast. Their sheltered lives are disrupted after they take in an injured enemy soldier. He's portrayed by Colin Farrell.
Is your leg paining you?
Some.
Well, I hear numbness would be more grave.
Indeed.
There's some brandy if you wish.
No, that would be a pleasure.
It's not being offered for your pleasure, only for your comfort.
Yes, ma'am.
I must remind you, Corporal McBunny, you are not a guest here. You are a most unwelcome visitor, and we do not propose to entertain you.
Well, I wouldn't expect it, ma'am. Although you'll find I'm easily amused.
Sofia Coppola, welcome to Studio 57. We're delighted to have you here. Congratulations on The Beguiled.
Thank you.
Won a big award in Cannes recently, so this is really such a very special movie because you don't know, A, who's being beguiled, and Colin Farrell said that the violence of the human heart is always interesting. You said the dynamic between men and women is interesting, too. Set the scene for us about what is happening here.
Yeah, the story's about, it takes place in a girls' school in the South during the Civil War, and it's a group of women living together, and it was interesting to me because it's women of different ages, from 12 to 40s, and they take in an enemy soldier after not seeing a man for a long time, and I think just the power between men and women, which we can all relate to, is at the heart of the story.
And the tension is immediate.
Yes, immediate is a word.
Oh, good. I really wanted to feel the tension and feel the heat of the South and keep the tension and suspense.
I've had directors tell me that casting is 80% of making a good movie. How did you go about casting this film?
Yeah, I loved working with Kirsten Dunst in the past and Elle Fanning, so I asked them to come back. And then I always admired Nicole Kidman, so I was really happy to have such great women together. And then we had to find a man that could handle all these ladies.
But you wrote the screenplay with Nicole Kidman in mind. What did you see in her that you knew you wanted her for this movie?
Yeah, I mean, she's such an incredible actress, and I think this character had to be a strong woman, but also very feminine and delicate, and she could also make her human and sympathetic and bring so much to making her feel like a real woman.
And then you had them take etiquette classes. The cast was saying you had etiquette classes and you had them take corset training lessons.
We did a lot.
What were you getting at there?
We were prepared before the shooting, and they wore the corsets and had an etiquette advisor and a dance teacher and a sewing teacher, and just to try to understand what it was like for women living at that time.
Like what? Because I read that you found a book that had unusual etiquette lessons that don't relate to us today. Give us an example of that.
Yeah, it's this very extreme idea of femininity and being a lady, and that you have to be very modest and always appealing to men, and makeup is vulgar, and this whole idea of how women were supposed to be for men at that time. And then they found themselves at wartime with no men around, and just the role of women at that time.
I'm sure you've been asked this 1,000 times, but I love your father.
Yeah.
So tell me what he's taught you about being a good director.
Oh, I mean, I've learned everything from my father. I think the best thing is that he brought me and my brother on set. We spent a lot of time on his sets and just learning how to make film. And he's so passionate and curious about filmmaking, and you can't be around him without wanting to make films. And about being an artist, he always encouraged me to make films that I felt personally connected to. And
Do you show him an early cut?
I always like to show it to him before I lock the cut. He always has great ideas, just to make sure to get his blessing.
I've read that you said a remake was a bad word in your house. And this is a remake of sorts. Yeah. Why was it a bad word?
Yeah, my dad always said, remake is, the only reason for a remake is to make money. You know, why would anyone do that? And so I would never think to remake a film, but this premise was so interesting. There was a Don Siegel film in the early 70s starring Clint Eastwood, and it's told from the male point of view, and I thought it'd be so interesting to retell this story from the women character.
Are women directors having a moment at this time? We had Patty Jenkins here last week before the huge success of Wonder Woman. Ava DuVernay is doing Wrinkle in Time. Do you feel that now women are finally getting their just due?
It feels like a really exciting time because people are talking so much about it and really valuing that the female audience is an important one, too.
It's great to have you here.
Thank you.
Very nice to meet you, Sophia.
Congratulations.
The Beguiled opens in select cities Friday and nationwide on June 30th.